We are live on the moon right now, and we're having some serious troubles today, my friends. Bitcoin crashing down, Solana crashing down. The entire cryptocurrency world is crashing down. What is going on? What should we do? We're going to take a look at the chart here on Bitcoin, talk more about what to expect and what we should be looking for in terms of buying the dip and looking for the next opportunity to sell the rip. Breaking it down right here in this video, so make sure you stay tuned. What's going on, guys? Patrick here, and today we're talking Bitcoin, talking cryptocurrency, and taking a look here at the chart on Bitcoin right now as it pulls back to the $57,000 area. It actually pushed up pretty strongly here. I do like the idea of it pushing back up here and showing some strength, but we're going to break down the chart and look here at the chart first off and show you guys kind of what I'm looking at and what is going on in the cryptocurrency space with Bitcoin right now pulling back. So pulling up the chart on Bitcoin, you can see right now on the daily candle, Bitcoin down to a low so far today of $56,565, already pushing back up off of that EMA there, that EMA cloud. You can see Bitcoin kind of consolidating there at the $63,000 level and then just getting pummeled and rolling off a cliff down here, the $57,000 level. Now, one thing that I do want to point out is that if we do start to kind of bounce off this and we continue, let's make this little channel right there. Well, that would be very, very kind of good in sense that Bitcoin kind of, wants to go ding, 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 ding to the upside. I actually drew this just the other day, and you can see pretty clearly right now, you got this big wave up, we got the wave down, got the wave up, got the wave down. So the idea here is if Bitcoin can kind of bounce off of this level, that $57,000 level, kind of go up, ding, 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 and create another wave formation, we would then retest this kind of higher area of the $65,000 to $68,000 level, and then get that breakout to the upside. The issue, obviously, is we could get a little bit more of a pullback, maybe down to this area, and kind of create a channel that's kind of down here. The nice thing about this that I would say is pretty bullish about this move so far is if you kind of line up the resistance here was around $53,000 there. And we've talked about that, before with cryptocurrency, with Bitcoin stocks and things like that, that when a previous area of resistance gets broken and then gets retested, that's obviously very bullish. And you can see, right now, I wouldn't say we've touched down there all the way, but we're kind of getting down to that area there on the daily chart here as Bitcoin's pulling back. We still got a little bit more room, maybe down here to the $53,000 to $54,000 level. I wouldn't even rule out the idea of Bitcoin retracing maybe down here to the $50,000 level at that point. Kind of going into the end of the year here, some volatility, and then Bitcoin kind of doing this and then pushing back up to the upside. As you can see, like the big thing, like always looking at the bigger picture, right? We've got this big, huge move, and it looks very big, right? It looks like a very just massive move as we're looking at it. But the thing is, if you just kind of zoom out, or you just more, I guess, kind of zoom in, what do you see here? We really got this big move to the upside. We got the pullback. We basically pulled back to that 50% area on the chart. If we go here and we put the fib on there, a lot of people ask me, what app do I use for buying cryptocurrency, for holding cryptocurrency? And right now, I think one of the best apps in the market is the Crypto.com app. They're making a big push in the marketing side, getting their brand out there, getting their name out there, just closing a deal the other day to take over the Staples Center, as now having the Crypto.com center there in LA, which is huge for their marketing. And then also they're delivering to all other customers. They got over 10 million users that are using their app. You can see their app right there. It's really easy, really simple to use. You can learn more about it. You can stake on the app. You can get rewards. They've got a lot of cool things right there on their app built, and already really easy to use. They got the DeFi app as well. I think there's some really good opportunities for some staking as well. So if you guys want to check it out, it's Crypto.com. Check them out. We basically lined up with that 0.61 on the Fibonacci retracement there as Bitcoin pulled back to that level. So kind of doing the same idea here. If we were to look at this move and just look at this from like a bullish standpoint, if we go from the bottom of this move to the upside of this move, that 0.61 is down there at the $44,000 level. But if we look here like at the 50, that would put us like right in there, right at that $50,000 level being that 0.5 of the Fibonacci retracement. Maybe we can go like, you know, a little higher there on that move. But in general, you guys can see kind of where those lines are lining up. There's so many lines on the chart now, but I hope you guys can see. And if we really zoom in here, looking at the daily chart as this pulls back, that $55,000 level lines up pretty much perfectly with that Fibonacci line. I think that's the 0.38 there. So the 0.5 being about half of a pullback would be right down there, the $50,000 level, like I just talked about 2 minutes ago, is how that $50,000 level, you know, could kind of be that mental and emotional area for a bounce here as well. So I'm really, if I'm going to be loading the boat up here, if I'm going to be loading up more cryptocurrency, I would be getting more aggressive the closer we get to that $50,000 level, because I like that idea that we have multiple things kind of lining up with that intersection or that area of supply, demand, or whatever you want to call it there. But if you look here, drawing that line off of that previous resistance, which was actually kind of like support there as well, and you know, that previous area of supply and demand there turned into resistance when it was broken, and then we pushed up to that area, we pulled back, and now we kind of have this overall trend that we are looking at. And it's interesting because if Bitcoin kind of pulls back to like here, and then Bitcoin kind of finds that support, and then it kind of gives us a really good area to bounce off of that $50,000 level. And again, it kind of all just lines up perfectly with the Fibonacci, and then lines up with the overall kind of trend in the idea. Because if you look here at this move, we had this big push up, we hit resistance, we pulled back, we had this big push up, we had that big pullback that we had. Well, we're in that pullback right now. Kind of comparing the two moves here. So you can see we had this first dip on this move here. We then pushed back up. We had one more dip, and then we pushed back up. So as of right now, it looks like we're kind of on a little mini of a dip on this push here. Then we got kind of a bigger dip here, and we've bounced off of this level before right there. The low on that candle was 56,425. The low on this candle was 56,565. So pretty much bounced off that area now twice. So this could be a double bottom here. But again, like I said, kind of looking to see maybe we get a little bit more of a deeper dip here down to this kind of $50,000 level there. But it'll be interesting to see, like, is this the next kind of double bottom, kind of higher low off of this point? And then do we start to push back up? I would kind of just keep watching here for buying the dip. If you're going to be buying the dip, like I've already bought the dip today, but I said I would get more aggressive if we dipped more down. Really hit the terminal velocity in terms of selling. I like to kind of really be buying when it's like, oh my God, the world is ending and I should be buying. And I don't think we're at that point just yet here, because Bitcoin, you know, really is only down about, I think it's like down like 4% on the day right now. So it's not down huge just yet. So I'm not going to load the boat just yet. When I'm loading the boat on Bitcoin cryptocurrency, I'm looking for 10 to 15% drop in Bitcoin, because that's going to translate to a 30 to 40% drop in the altcoins. And that's going to give me a much better entry there on Bitcoin. And that's one thing that I'm looking for, baby. I'm looking for opportunity to be buying the dip. But the big focus always is, you know, having a plan. If I'm going to buy Bitcoin at 50, well, then I'm going to wait for it to hit 50. If it doesn't hit 50, if it doesn't kind of line up with my overall investment strategy, then it just doesn't line up with my overall investment strategy, because I'm looking for that 10% dip in Bitcoin that will then translate to the 20 to 30% dips in the altcoins. So I could buy a little bit of Bitcoin at 10%, and then I could buy a lot of altcoins for a 20 to 30% dip, and then look to hold those into the next big rally. So I think we're just kind of shaking out some paper hands here. People kind of getting a little nervous, you know, people maybe taking a little bit of profit before Thanksgiving, things like that. And I'm still very bullish for the end of the year here and trying to push to an all-time high up towards that $100,000 level on Bitcoin. So that's kind of my thesis right now, what I'm looking at Bitcoin. I think we can get a little bit more of a dip here to really get excited, but we could also kind of see maybe a double bottom off of this $56,000 level. It'll be very interesting to see what happens. As always, if you guys haven't already, do me one big favor, hit that like button and the subscribe button down below.